If you've been looking for an ultimate romance movie guide, then look no further, because here it is. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite genre of all time, which is romantic movies, and these include rom-coms, romance dramas, some other stuff that I've been struggling to categorize. Yeah, you'll see it all. Just a disclaimer, since I love romance movies so much, I obviously have not seen all of them yet because I am actively prolonging the pleasure and the satisfaction. That's why I'm only going to be talking about those that I have watched and am willing to recommend. So my guide is divided into a couple categories, some of them intertwine. Others are just super random, as you're going to see, and I'm going to name the movies from the one I liked the least but would still recommend to the one that I loved the most, and it's probably in my personal top 20 favorite movies of all time. Very likely. Okay, let's begin. The first category will be enemies to lovers, which isn't my personal favorite, but I know that romance girlies out there really like this trope. That's why I decided to start with it. Also, yes, I decided to film a YouTube video in the exact day that this person decided to rebuild their entire apartment, which is unfortunately not something that I can influence, so we'll just have to deal with it somehow. Okay, Puppy Love is a pretty shallow movie, but it stars two of my favorite actors, Lucy Hale and Grant Gustin. That's why you have to watch it. Despite it being easy on the eyes, I think it deals with quite complex topics such as social anxiety, and it's also really, really cute. Leap Year is a movie with an interesting concept, and for some reason, I have this thing where I watch this movie every 4 years because I suddenly get the urge to rewatch it, but then as soon as I rewatch it, I realize that it's actually not that good. But then in 4 years, I will forget about this again and I'll want to rewatch it. Oh, then we have everyone's favorite, Set It Up, which I'm gonna be controversial. I don't like this movie all that much. If you're looking for good romantic comedy, I think this one is going to work, but it's definitely not a comfort movie for me. The pizza scene is really adorable, but other than that, it's pretty messy. Life as We Know It. I remember when I started watching this movie, I was really expecting a rom-com, but spoiler, it's not really a rom-com. It is pretty tragic. I just thought it was a good movie. By the way, I feel like I have to acknowledge this because this is very specific to me. My favorite movies are the movies that bring me comfort. Yeah, comfort is the thing that I value the most. That's why this list is going to be very subjective. Should have mentioned it earlier, but whatever. Ooh, then we have Anyone But You. I don't think I felt the chemistry, which is subjective. It's a good watch. You can watch it 1 or 2 times a year, but no more than that. Ooh, then we have the classic Overboard. I think I've watched it for the first time when I was about 5 with my mom because it's one of her favorite movies. I think it's great. It's a little bit, just a tiny bit misogynistic. It's just a very fun comedy. Bridget Jones' Diary. I've only watched the first part because I don't like watching characters break up and get together, break up and get together, break up and get together, and I think that's what happens in the Bridget Jones series. I'm not totally sure. I think it's a great enemies to lovers. I think it's amazing. I know it's based on Pride and Prejudice, obviously, because we have another Mr. Darcy. Yeah, by the way, I didn't add Pride and Prejudice to this list because I don't really think it's enemies to lovers. It's just a whole lot of misunderstanding. But of course, you know that Pride and Prejudice exists and it's a great movie. Letters to Juliet. Oh my god, how much I love this movie. Not because of the great plot, not because of impeccable acting, but because it is a comfort movie. That's exactly what I'm looking for when I'm watching a romance movie. So beautiful, the setting, stunning. It's just one of those feel-good movies in terms of romance. I loved it. Then we have Princess Diaries Part 2, which is arguably one of the best enemies to lovers movies to exist. I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a good enemies to lovers movie to watch and haven't watched this yet. I think it's pretty perfect. And so are Anne Hathaway and Chris Pine. My favorite enemies to lovers movie, which is going to be very controversial, it's The Hating Game, which I just rewatched the day before yesterday, and I realized just how much comfort this movie brings me. It is so vibrant, it's so full of charm. The humor is just on point. I know it's based off of a book, that's probably why this movie's great. Yeah, and again, Lucy Hale, I'm going to watch everything she stars in, even if it's the trashiest movie that you can imagine. Aww, then we have my personal favorite romance trope, which is friends to lovers. We have so many good ones on here. Please stop. Friends with Benefits, I know it's kind of a classic. Didn't personally enjoy it much. Maid of Honor is really adorable and also fits the category where the male main character slowly starts to realize that he's actually really obsessed with the female main character, and that's what I love to see. The Life List was pretty amazing. I thought that it had the Summer Turned Pretty vibes. Don't even know why, but yeah. I know it's based off of a book, and I've heard that the book takes a different turn in terms of romance, which I'm very happy with what they did in the movie because it was adorable. This is a great friends to lovers story. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation, which I've just recently watched, and I thought that this was an incredible movie. I haven't read the book, which I regret a little bit because usually when you read the book first, you realize that the movie is trash compared to the book. I don't really know what other Emily Henry fans think about the movie, but to me, in terms of like cinematography and visuals and atmosphere, I thought it was just great. And I really love the characters. Oh. Then we have Love Rosie, which every time I watch this movie, it sends me on a spiral about how short life is and how dumb people are sometimes. If you need a reminder to just cherish people in front of you and, you know, be bold and courageous and speak your truth, you definitely have to watch Love Rosie. Oh, this is an insane category. When Harry Met Sally. Oh my god, how I love this movie. This is a perfect rom-com. Absolutely perfect. It's not my favorite Meg Ryan movie, but I think it is just amazing, and I don't think I have anything new to say about it. And my favorite, 13 Going on 30. Also a very inspiring movie and very comforting to watch. Then we have my least favorite romance trope, which is fake dating, and I try to skip these movies and books every time I come across them. Purple Hearts. This is a very hard watch, honestly. Drive Me Crazy is a good one. I honestly watched it so long ago that I don't really remember the plot, but I think it was two childhood friends. Yeah, I think it was pretty good compared to the other ones in this category. Then we have The Proposal. It's also a very good comedy, so if you're looking for that. And to all of the boys that left before, I'm a Jenny Han girly. The next category is One of Us is Famous / Royal / Important. First we have Me and the Prince. I love fairy tales, but this was, I think, even more naive than the Cinderella, to be honest. The idea of you, I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. Then we have Christmas in the Spotlight, which is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce fanfiction. It wasn't a very good plot. I remember I was very sick at the time when I was watching it, and I was on the lookout to all of the little Easter eggs from Taylor Swift lyrics, and I was recording myself with a really sick voice. I might insert some of the clips.
You're the best thing at this party.
Why they gotta be so mean?
Why you gotta be so mean? Starstruck is a really adorable Disney movie. Then we have my two favorites, which is Chasing Liberty and First Daughter. Really recommend watching First Daughter first, because there's a little bit of a plot twist in both of these movies, and if you don't want to spoil the other one, I recommend watching First Daughter first and then Chasing Liberty. And my favorite movie in this category is Notting Hill. The British charm, the British humor, I think it's pretty perfect. Next up we have deal-based romance. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Geek Charming, another Disney movie. Silver Linings Playbook. I had heard a lot of good things about this movie. I thought it was pretty psychotic, to be honest. It was probably supposed to be, but definitely not my favorite. Falling in Love, which has really beautiful settings and the story is just very cute and romantic. Then we have probably the funniest rom-com that I've ever watched, and also the horniest. What's Your Number? It was actually the first Chris Evans movie that I have ever watched. Yeah, it's adorable. You should watch it. A similar one, I think, in terms of a vibe, is Holiday. It's one of those movies that you're only supposed to watch once because there's not much to it, but for some reason I watched it 3 times already. I don't know what I am trying to find in there. It's pretty simple. 2 Weeks Notice, another hilarious movie, maybe because of Hugh Grant, probably because of Hugh Grant. Yeah, I think I think my type of humor is Hugh Grant humor. Pretty Woman, a classic. I really love Pretty Woman. And my favorite little underrated romance movie, The Broken Hearts Gallery. Gosh, I'm obsessed with it. I think I have quotes from it in every journal. Next category is deception romance, where one of the characters has a secret or both of the characters have a secret. We'll see. Down with Love was a crazy movie. It is the biggest plot twist that you can ever see in a romance movie. I think it is worth watching just because of that plot twist. She's All That. Yeah, I can see why it's a classic, but I honestly didn't feel much romance in it. Then we have Upgraded, which I don't really remember what this is about. It's one of the more modern rom-com attempts. And the next one is The Other Zoe, which gave me, what is that movie? While You Were Sleeping vibes. Yeah, I think it was heavily inspired by While You Were Sleeping. Prom Pact. I thought it was cute, but it's also one of those movies that you only watch once. Confessions of a Shopaholic. I remember watching it maybe like 3 years back. I didn't even get halfway through because I was so irritated by the main character. She's like insane. But when you're able to see like the problematic side of it, I think you can really sympathize with her. It is a fun movie. Oh, then we have the one that I really love, IQ. It's one of those movies that I never see anyone talk about. It's really, really adorable, and I think that you should watch it. I've read somewhere somebody thought that Meg Ryan and Tim Robbins don't have chemistry, which I think is the biggest lie. I've never seen anyone look at Meg Ryan the way Tim Robbins looks at Meg Ryan, so yeah, maybe Nicolas Cage. But I thought it was a really good movie. She's the Man. I love Amanda Bynes. This is just a really good romance and a comedy and amazing, iconic. And then we have Two Legends, 10 Things I Hate About You, and of course, the #1 rom-com of all time, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I really love it. I think the hype is totally justified. It's amazing. Then we have Second Chance Romance, Just for the Summer, which I'm pretty sure is a Hallmark movie. I think I watched it because I had just read the Abby Jimenez book, Just for the Summer, and this movie from the description seemed really similar to the book. And I was like, what? But yeah, it's a totally different story, and I had such a jump scare when I was watching it because I was like, Noel Khan, what are you doing here? It was cute. Sweet Home Alabama. I only watched this movie once and I don't think I enjoyed it enough to rewatch it, but maybe someday I will. Forever My Girl was really cute. It's one of those heartfelt movies. Then we have The Vow. Oh my god, I love this movie. I think it is a beautiful romance. I'm a big fan of movies about unconditional love. I think they're very important for us as a society. I thought it was amazing. And number one is Flipped, which isn't really a second chance romance because it's about kids. Yeah, if you watched it, you probably know why I put it in this category. Then we have Invisible String Romance, which is just fate, destiny, the stars, meant to be, invisible string, tying you to me. I have Love at First Sight. It's a pretty good movie. Can You Keep a Secret? It wasn't too deep, but I think it's also a really good one-time watch. Oh, then we have While You Were Sleeping, which is probably my favorite Sandra Bullock movie. I love it. It's adorable. It's a perfect Christmas movie. Sleepless in Seattle, which is my least favorite Meg Ryan movie, but I still think it's amazing. And number one, Serendipity. Oh my god, if you want to believe in love at first sight, in Invisible String, in all of that, in love in general, I think you should watch Serendipity. It has this weird cheating aspect, but I choose to ignore it every time I watch it because I love this movie so much. I just realized that there's a lot more than I can share, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm stopping this now. And if you'd like a part 2, please let me know. I'd be happy to make it for you. Yeah, thank you for being here with me. I haven't filmed a YouTube video in so long that I forgot how hard it is to talk for so long. I really enjoyed sharing my favorite movies with you. I hope this was somehow helpful. Thank you for watching my video. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully soon. Bye bye!